up? What's good? What's popping? What's cracking? What's really good in the hood? It is your man Theo Butler. I told y'all we going strong 2026. Y'all came and did that the other night, so we gonna make it do what it's gonna do. We in here for a good time, a thought-provoking time and everything like that. Shout out to Comic Book Cast. Shout out to Comic Book Cast. Yeah, we in here for a good time, not to be confused with a long time. A question was asked. See how I said that? I didn't say anybody made a statement. No, I didn't say that. What's going on? I tell them I didn't say anybody made a statement. I said a question was asked. I was watching YouTube yesterday. Video was in my feed. And I was like, oh, really? All right. Let me open this up. And now, mind you, I don't because I don't really, insensitivity is what it is and everything like that. Folks not really knowing but speaking on stuff. And so I just don't, I like my mental health. I like my mental health. That's what that is. So I still watch the video though. I still watch the video. I like, yes. First of all, like I said, just shocked that he was doing the video, or that, I'm be honest with you, this me, I'm just, it's safe space. I'm surprised anybody that looked like him was doing. Hell, I'd have been surprised if anybody that looked like me was talking about that. I really, really would, because I just thought. Anyway, what's going on, Big Ronnie? What's going on? So he talking, and I'm like, okay, let me listen. And he talking about how Disney promotes projects with us in it. Little to not at all. little to not at all. Little to not at all. And then he also mentioned how they release it, right? Certain projects they release over a period of time. 1 week, 2 weeks. They dump our stuff right there. Here you go. Ironheart, what was it? 4 episodes, 2 nights. And then with Wonder Man, that's what I said, Wonder Man. With Wonder Man, they just gonna throw the whole season out there one day. Go ahead, hit it and quit it. And so you have folks to be looking at that and be like, hey, they not treating them shows like they treat the other shows. Same thing with Echo and everything like that. Me, I be looking at it like this. So do we want to have this conversation, or do we want to have this conversation? Because we can have this conversation. Honestly, we could have been done had this conversation. But do we want to have this conversation or no? I get it. I understand. So what I'm going to do today is, I understand I'm Mr. Crash Out. I ain't saying I earned it. I ain't saying I didn't earn it. I've been called passionate. I ain't saying I earned it. I ain't saying I didn't earn it. But I do know enough that whenever someone that looks like me is labeled a crash out or passionate, that's code for angry black man. So what I'm going to do today is fall back on my educational level. It is college, right? Public speaking is one of those classes. So I'm going to do my best to give a dissertation, if you will, on the problems with black characters. Now, the question on the table is whether or not Marvel hate. Now, Comic Book Cast didn't say, they didn't make a statement. They asked the question: does the Marvel Studios hate minorities and people of color? I'm saying superheroes, right? Okay, so we got 2 different questions. I don't want no problems. I don't want nobody saying I didn't say that. I know you didn't say it. That's why I changed it to my thing. Let's break this down into 3 different categories, if you will. Put my glasses back on. They've been known to make me look more intelligent. introduction, execution, and payoff. Say that one more time. Introduction, execution, and payoff. Y'all give me a second. I got the lights beaming on me and everything like that. We got to get some AC in here for the studio audience. Hold on. Move out the way. I don't know if y'all gonna find this funny, ironic, whatever. I have a black cat and a white dog. Take from that what you will. So, introduction, execution, payoff. Payoff, introduction, execution. Execution, introduction, payoff. Let's get into this thing, because I believe you gotta know where the problem start at. If there's a problem, you gotta ask yourself, is there a problem? I'm gonna go ahead and check in. I'm gonna see what we got going on here and everything. I'm gonna go check on my videos. Give me a second. Make sure we live. I see nobody's here. That's okay. That's okay. The video is broadcasting. That's all that matters. So, introduction, execution, payoff. Introduction, execution, payoff. Introduction. Gabe Brown was in the first Captain. You know what? Let me not even do that. What's the first MCU movie we got a brother, sister in it? Iron Man. You like, now, Robert Downey Jr. is a leading man. He's a leading actor. He is. He absolutely is. As a matter of fact, I will go ahead and tell you, everybody that comprised the original five was a leader actor. Now, we could say something about Mark Ruffalo. You could. But no. Jeremy Renner, solo, his own movies, leading actor, action hero. Scarlett Johansson, same thing. Chris Evans, same thing. And Lord, I don't even want to talk about Chris Hemsworth. Wasn't that Captain Kirk? Dad? Like, I don't even want to do that. Like, that was literally, and every woman lost. He wasn't in that movie but 5 minutes. Let me say it one more time. He wasn't in that movie but 5 minutes. And women lost their mind way more over him playing Captain Kirk's dad than the dude that actually played Captain Kirk. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. But ladies love it. And I ain't mad at that. Okay. So we got Iron Man. I think Terrence Howard is a leading actor. He got them chops, Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle. No, based on the presence, the actor's persona, based on the lines you're giving the actor, this is already a secondary character, i.e. a supporting character. You're not showing off the rip. You're invested in the character. Not at all. Because you don't even care how the character look on screen. You don't. Okay, let me keep going. Captain America, the first Avenger. Derek Luke was in that movie. Played Gabe Brown. A member of Nick Fury's Howling Commandos. Yep. And has actually ran S.H.I.E.L.D. But now, when you understand that these characters started off in a comic book, right? They started, not all of them, most of them, some of them, very few start off live action or animation. No, the majority of these characters that we're seeing come into live action, animation, they start in the comic book. But Derek Luke, who, I'm sorry, he got more acting chops to him by that time than Sebastian Stan. And he's acted across from, I don't know, Denzel Washington. He has. How much screen time he get in Captain America, the First Avenger? Who asked about him? What type of role he played? Who cared? What about when we bring Cap forward? Did we have any plans for the character? Because Derek Luke, Biker Boys, but who did he act across from in Biker Boys? Oh my goodness, Lawrence Fishburne. Whoa, my goodness, he was on Empire. So we know, now see, we know who Derek Luke is enough that when we see him in Captain America, the First Avenger, we're like, oh, damn, Derek Luke playing Gabe? That's how those of us who know who Derek Luke is and know who the character is he's playing are looking at this. Damn, he playing Gabe? You're anticipating something because you know who he is and you know who the character is. But now, does anybody else? Does anybody? Because see, you ain't got to look like me to know who Gabe is. You ain't got to look like me to know who Derek Luke is. Kid Rock was also in Biker Boys. Yeah. So we're not going to make it like that. No. Did you know who Derek Luke was? And did you know the character he was playing? Did you care? There were those of us that knew Derek Luke prior to Captain America, the First Avenger. There were those of us who knew who Gabe was prior to Captain America, the First Avenger, that when you add Derek Luke playing the role of Gabe in Captain America, the First Avenger, those of us that know those two were anticipating something. It never came. Why not? Why not? Why not? It's a fair question. Why not? Let's keep going though, because that was Iron Man, right? And then we get Captain America, right? Let's stay right here with Steve Rogers. How was Sam Wilson introduced to you? Now, I happen to think Anthony Mackie can knock it out the park. I do. But his portrayal of Sam Wilson is not that of a leading character. It's not. But when you got Scarlett Johansson showing up as Black Widow in Captain America's The Winter Soldier, while she is a supporting character in the movie, she's a leading supporting character in the movie. She's not there for background. No, she's there to be side by side with Steve. What was the role for Sam Wilson? How did you get it? What's your initial introduction to Sam Wilson as a character? What's your initial introduction to Sam Wilson as a Black character? How do you feel about Sam Wilson as a Black character and you're a Black man? He's running. Steve is running laps around him. On your left. On your left. On your left. You Black. Now, I'm nobody special. But let me just go ahead and say, there's some pride to me. There's some ego to me. Yes, I have been a player and everything like that. So in essence, yes, I've considered myself a ladies' man. I ain't but 5 feet and a half. I'm not as tall as Anthony Mackie. I'm not as dark-skinned as Anthony Mackie. I ain't Sam Wilson. I ain't 6'2", 250. I ain't that dude who flying around in a Falcon Hornet. So you mean that dude need help getting a woman? That dude feels intimidated by another man, that he going to acknowledge that man steadily running by him. He going to ask that man for help getting a woman. He ain't going to try and holler at Natalie when she pull up in the ride, talking about, oh, she here for you. That's a cultural thing. What is it about that character that's going to get me to lock in? What is it about Sam Wilson, period, that's going to get any man to lock in with him? There's nothing there. Mind you, we're talking introduction. We're talking introduction of the characters. What's the initial response, the introduction? When James Rhodes puts on his War Machine armor. Yes, he and Tony get into a fight. You see that. What winds up happening after that? Tony got to save him. Even before Tony saves him, he makes the joke, oh, I got the Widowmaker. What does that big old rocket do? Nothing. So with him in the armor, his weapons, by and large, aren't effective, even though he's called War Machine. Tony has to save him. That's right there in the second movie. What do you get from James Rhodes in the third movie? Being ejected out of his armor. He even asked Tony for a spare suit of armor, and Tony said, I got nothing for you. That's presentation. That's execution. What is it about that character that's making anybody say, I want to be War Machine? Them fair questions. We're talking introduction, execution, and payoff. I'm just asking, I'm just giving you the facts. You take from it what you will. Now, I get it. Some folks gonna tune in and see, I'm not gonna use words like DEI, and I'm not gonna use words like woke. No, I'm gonna tell you the story. You figure it out from there. Let me keep up with these notes real quick. Got Kimoyo King, president of the Black Panther fan group. Yes, sir. Kimoyo said they got Gabe out of there quick, just like Trip on Aces and Shields. But I don't even want to talk about Trip. That hurt my feelings. You know what? You should know what's coming in a story before it plays out. When the Terrigen Mist hit and Trip got caught, I already knew he wasn't coming back. Same thing. Let's stay right here. Lamar Hoskins. Now, I'm speeding up with that one, going through time. Lamar Hoskins, Falcon, and the Winter Soldier. What's your introduction? See, these when folks be talking racism and everything like that, you be talking about it from a sensationalism aspect. You're not going to talk about it from the points that it need to be talked about. Lamar Hoskins, he's bigger than John Walker. Did you get that? Or is Claire Benet shorter than Russell, Wyatt Russell? I can't remember the young, but is he smaller? Claire Benet is smaller than him. But Lamar Hoskins is not smaller than John Walker. He's not. Lamar Hoskins has beat up John Walker. He's the strongest out the two of them. Lamar Hoskins is still alive and well. Now, that's just in the comics. Let's talk about the MCU. Lamar Hoskins in the MCU was portrayed as an E9. That is the highest ranking enlisted officer, period. Non-commissioned officer, if you will. That's the highest ranking non-commissioned officer in the military. In E9, Battlestar, his military rank was actually his logo. Presentation. You either have to know the character or have been in the military. When they introduced you to John Walker as Captain America, everybody was in their dress uniforms except for him. That's not how that works. If we're having a dress ceremony, everybody is in their dress uniform. No, that was done deliberately so you couldn't see what his rank was, because his rank insignia was right there in front of his camis. You couldn't see it. What is that? You got your introduction and you got your execution of the character right there. Is there anything for you to get behind the character? If you don't know this character from the comic books, you don't know this, you don't know the military, then you don't know what's going on. But stay right there with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You watch Iron Man, you get a flashback scene. How many flashback scenes you get in the MCU? Did you get anything with Isaiah Bradley? Magnificent actor, Carl Lumley. But let's talk about older black actors playing characters, black characters in the MCU, and they're already aged out. Carl Lumley played Isaiah Bradley. Lawrence Fishburne played Bill Foster. What you finna get with that? What are you finna get with that? Mind you, Jericho Drum's brother popped up in the first Doctor Strange movie. Have you seen Jericho Drum? No. While Isaiah Bradley can reference him getting into it with Bucky, you got a flashback scene? While you can pull up some images of Carl Lumley online dressed as Captain America, you got video footage? Why not? Why not? No Disney Plus series? Why not? What about Bill Foster? Giant Man. Anything? Or did you get to see in that same movie Scott Lang's empty Ant-Man costume, giant size, posed on the side of a building? I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions. You, as a comic book fan, you know. Now, whether or not you care enough to say something is completely different. But are these characters that are black actually being treated with respect, dignity? I said introduction, execution, payoff. How was T'Challa introduced into the MCU? Stay right there. T'Challa was introduced into the MCU as far back as Avengers: Age of Ultron. People will use words like DEI and woke or call someone racist, but won't be able to pinpoint it. They're just talking for sensationalism. Let me ask this question. When does a hero's origin story not matter? Now, there's only one right answer. That's when everybody knows it. That's when the origin story no longer matters. That's why we get these movies now. We're not telling origin stories because by and large, you know the Fantastic Four's origin story. You know Superman's origin story. You know Batman's origin story. You know Spider-Man's origin story. Yeah, and you got Iron Man. You got Iron Man's origin story. Without it being a one-for-one adaptation, you got Iron Man's origin story live action. Mind you, you got an Iron Man's origin story quite a few times animation, but you got it live action. You still ain't got T'Challa's origin story. Why not? And because nobody cared about T'Challa's origin story, you low-key didn't get Shuri's origin story. And because you didn't low-key care about T'Challa's origin story, you didn't get Shuri's origin story. You also didn't get the Midnight's Fire origin story. And in you not getting T'Challa's origin story properly, you didn't get the correct execution of Shuri. You didn't get the correct execution of the Midnight Angels, nor did you get the correct execution of the Queen Mother Ramonda. It just fell like a whole bunch of dominoes. Because if they don't care and you don't know enough to care, what you expect to get? What if they don't care and you don't know enough to care, what do you expect to get? Ain't none of your heroes, our heroes, been treated properly. What did you get in Falcon and the Winter Soldier? You got Sam living in New Orleans. Well, I'm sorry. I'm from a small town called Camilla, Georgia. And you mean to tell me none of the officers that he probably grew up with knew who he was to the point where he pull up in his neighborhood, he finna get profiled? Come on now. Let's not push stereotypical tropes just to push them. Let's not do that. And we mean to tell me he, as a celebrity, can't get a loan at his own local bank back home? Stop. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. He's a worldwide known celebrity. Sam Wilson would have got a loan anywhere. As a matter of fact, if Patrick Mahomes can get what he getting, LeBron James getting what he getting, Michael Jordan getting what he getting, we really think the brother that's a full-fledged Avenger ain't having folks throw stuff at him hand over fist? Stop. 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 You got Riri Williams. Like I said, you either don't know enough to care or you just don't care. Riri Williams, MIT, in the comic books, Tony Stark is sponsoring her because she's just that. She ain't steal nothing from Tony. But you will have folks online say, oh, she didn't steal anything from Tony. Tony sponsors her. But what do you get in the MCU as a fan? I say introduction, execution, and payoff. If you don't know what you're looking at, you don't know whether or not you should care. She's a girly girl. Our women span all type of demographics. They do. If the shoe fit, let it fit. But if that ain't her, let's not shoehorn her in there just to represent a stereotype. She's a girly girl. My daughter, that's 25, is a girly girl. My 13-year-old just turned 14, is a girly girl. My oldest, that's the one that's got a little roughness to her. We got, even with my daughters, there's a variety in the personality. You don't get that with Riri Williams. Right off the rip. What's her initiation? What's her introduction to you? She hustling. And we act like that's not a big thing, but not every black child is hustling. Not every black person is hustling. But what do you get from one of the smartest people right now in the MCU? Hustling. That was your introduction. She's shaking down somebody. And then when she goes to Wakanda, what are we talking about in regards to African Americans coming together or sisters being able to come together? Last we saw Riri, she was in Wakanda. Let's talk about the execution. How much sense does it make for Riri Williams to be struggling for money when we just saw her in Wakanda helping to defend Wakanda against Taloka? Would the Wakandans have not been sponsoring Riri Williams? Stay right there. Yes, I know Tony Stark is gone. Pepper's still right there. Pepper is still right there in the MCU. You either know the story enough to know when they deliberately getting it wrong, or you don't know enough to say anything, which means you shouldn't say anything. But Pepper sits right there in the MCU. No different than Tony sat right there in the comics. Riri wasn't expelled from school. No, the dean called Tony and said, she's on your level. Come talk to her. Well, why couldn't the dean in the MCU call Pepper and say, hey, she's on your husband's level? That's the execution. What's the payoff? Well, in Marvel Comics, Riri Williams is a bona fide superhero. Whether or not folks like her as a superhero is completely something else. But in the comics, she's a bona fide, she's not an anti-hero. She's a bona fide hero. She ain't got no criminal record. She ain't out there committing crimes. That's the execution. The payoff is we have another character, diverse black character, if you will, that our daughters can look at and relate to. What's wrong with that? Not all of our daughters grew up in the projects. They did. Not all of our daughters had to turn to a life of crime to make it out the hood. Why is that what we're putting out there with Riri Williams? I'm not finished. I'm not. Not by a long shot. Fastos Fastos is a heterosexual male. He's a heterosexual black male that represents a demographic of black men in interracial relationships. He represents that. You know how we get all these commercials where we got interracial couples? Well, we wouldn't have had to fake it here. No, he's actually married to a white woman. He is. What did you get? And he don't do all that damn crying. No, he's an eternal. We can call him the maker because he makes stuff. He's very, very much machismo. Yeah. And he in the gym. He in the gym. My dog carry a hammer around with him 24/7. He can either build something or you can get that work one way or the other. Did you get that? That was the introduction and the execution. No, what you got was a stereotypical gay man. I felt bad because I'm sitting up here like, so gay men cry all the time? So there's no such thing as a gay man in the gym that would knock your block off? No, just crying all the time and out of shape. That was the introduction. What was the payoff? If you're a black male and you know Fastos was in that movie, how did you feel? Whether you be gay or heterosexual, was that you? I'm not finished. We talking about Young Avengers. We keep talking about Young Avengers. We keep talking about Wanda's children. Why we not talking about Elijah Bradley, Isaiah's grandson? Yeah, we got that actor sitting right there. Why we not talking about him? Let's talk about execution. Both actors that played T'Chaka are alive and well. Why were neither one of them in Black Panther 2? Both. And they're, now mind you, we like to talk about black people, right? Black representation. They are actually father and son in real life. Real life, they're father and son. Why were neither one of them in Black Panther 2? Make it make sense. You say you're a Black Panther fan, whatever. T'Challa's origin story got butchered throughout the MCU, but you're a Batman fan and you would never stand for that, nor would any Batman fan. You ain't saying nothing? Shorty, right now, you hear everybody talking about, you hear Shorty fans talking about Shorty. Let me help MCU Shorty fans out real quick. When Shorty was the Black Panther, Shorty was the Princess Regent. M'Baku didn't run anything. She was running Wakanda. That's the presentation right there. That's the execution. Right now, when you're looking at it where women should be running Wakanda, what do? Put a dude over there. And mind you, that ain't the smartest person in Wakanda. No, they literally took the person who hates technology and put him on the throne. They either A, don't know or don't care. But now see, here's where you gotta do this yourself. Because you know what I'm telling you is true. You just gonna check out when I say we've condoned it. Nate Moore's been over there. He pushed Eternals. Ryan Coogler's been over there. Yeah. Don't just look at certain folks. No, the Marvel Studios. See, that was the question. Said Marvel Studios. I know folks wondering, See, this about Marvel Studios. And all those involved, it ain't got nothing to do with one particular person. No, look at the introduction. Look at the execution. And then look at the payoff. They've been on demon time for quite some time now. Everybody that look like you don't care. They're not subject to care. But now if you do, you do. If you do, you do. I'm gonna keep up with these notes. Thank y'all so much for pulling up, man. Y'all came in here in force. Let me see here. We got Ronnie says the MCU should have given us a Howling Commando show. It could have did something. Kevin, good storytelling wouldn't change anything at all. Fan base keep attacking everything. So good storytelling wouldn't change anything. When you say fan base keep attacking, what fan base? What fan base? Because I can tell you that the Avengers movie was cool. It was good. I can tell you that Ant-Man and the Wasp into the Quantumania, hey man, that don't make no sense. Captain America 4 don't make no sense. That's not good storytelling. Captain America 4 wasn't good storytelling. Black Panther 2 was not good storytelling. So when you pull up and you want to make a statement, don't leave. Don't leave, because we know what good storytelling is, and we know what good storytelling is. When you come into the live, any of my lives, don't come in as an MCU fan. Come in as somebody that's got an education. Come in as somebody that's got an education, and you're going to make your statements based on your education, not what you like and what you don't like. I like Keith Sweat. I like his songs. I don't think he can sing live. See how I do that? But that don't mean I don't play Make It Last Forever. Let's keep the party rolling. But I don't know, you get in and get out. Don't come in and Kevin Davis 8646. Come back. You look like you heard some stuff you ain't want to hear and you tapped out. On King of the Signal, Marvel is falling the woke net following. They hate black men. They hate black women as well. They tried to push Shorty, but that failed. They tried with Monica as well, but decided to leave her in space. I see. When I say woke. I don't use this because words got meanings, words got definitions and everything. And I don't believe in just changing words to fit definitions. Kind of like what somebody did when they said iconic. They just said iconic and threw it out there. Folks went to work. No, woke has always meant for people that look like me to be observant. And that's going all the way back to the 1930s. That's going all the way back to the 1930s. We've allowed woke to be co-opted today in something completely different. So when I use it in my live, I got to use it like it's supposed to be used. So let me change this sentence real quick. Marvel is pushing nonsense. It ain't woke. It's I don't believe in hiring folks that know the content. That's not woke. That ain't got nothing to do with woke. That's being irresponsible. So they're not following a woke narrative. No, I don't know what the hell they got going on. But it damn sure ain't good storytelling either. See, that's the other thing. Folks say good storytelling. No. Bad storytelling is bad storytelling. Bad. The new Avengers, Thunderbolts, new Avengers, that's not good storytelling. Ain't good. Let me keep up. I appreciate y'all pulling up. Kimoyo King is in the building. They race swap Wonder Man instead of God. Yes, Lord Jesus, have mercy. Thank you. This is coming from Dash Pater. Yes. Introduction, execution, payoff. Thank you. Yahia Abdul Mateen, talented. Yes, saw him play Dr. Midnight. Knocked it out the park. Got it. He finna play Simon Williams. This is what the MCU, Marvel Entertainment, is looking at. They're getting ready to drop a mini-series to coincide with the release of the Disney Plus show. Here's the problem. In the miniseries, Simon Williams is very much a European male. No differently than when they released a Namor miniseries to coincide with Black Panther 2, Namor was very much still a European male. He was not Tolokan, not sub-Saharan, nothing. That's not representation. It's not. Nowhere at all. Let's say they introduce a Wonder Man action figure based on this Disney Plus series. Is that action figure going to be based on Yahya Abdul-Mateen? Or is it going to be based on the character in the comic books? That's a European male. What's the payoff for the Wonder Man fan based on the MCU? What's that payoff going to look like? Is that great storytelling? Is that fair representation? Are we able to take from that Marvel Studios hates people of color, heroes of color? Well, I'll ask this question, just like it just got asked. Why wasn't he Adam Brashear? Why wasn't he Luke Cage? Right? Why wasn't he War Machine? Right? Sam Wilson? Right? T'Challa? Right? Bishop? Right? There's quite a few black characters he could have been. Why not one of them? So when you want to tell the story in the comic books, you ain't got to do nothing special. Just tell the story. When you want to put out the action figure, you ain't got to be confused about nothing. Just put out the action figure. That's not what happened. How many folks saying something? They're going to dump that series. Now, we could say the MCU doesn't like heroes of color because they're putting Wonder Man out all in one day. You could say that. It's up to you. Or you could say that and some other stuff. They're putting a show out in one day, having a black actor play a white character who's by and large gonna stay white in the comics. What's the representation? Where was Adam Brashear? Got fair question. And I could be petty and ask, since it's just a mantle, Black Panther, why he couldn't play a one episode Black Panther series as Mamadou Fall? Don't have me start asking questions around here. We saw the Black Panther effect with the first Black Panther film. Black unity certainly scares someone at Marvel for some reason. Absolutely. Because when we go back to that first Black Panther film, like I said, T'Challa's origin story started in Age of Ultron. T'Challa took out Claw's right arm, not to be confused with his left arm. But you don't get that. As a matter of fact, what's your T'Challa moment? You know how you get your Captain America moment? Whether he got his shirt on and Haley rubbing him on his chest, or he fighting Bucky, putting hands on Bucky. What's your T'Challa moment? And no, you cannot say the living are not done with you yet. You can't use that. Because that line is the line that folks look at when they think about T'Challa and they think he's soft. So no, you can't use that. You can't, because comic book fans know the difference. Soft? You would rather fight Steve Rogers than fight T'Challa. You would rather, I almost of the mindset, you'd rather fight Bucky. Because Bucky do got some Steve Rogers in him. T'Challa was trained to delete you from birth. Have you ever got that feeling? But wait, let's stay here. Because I like this one. Because I'm also equally adept in speaking to my brothers and sisters in the LGBTQ plus community. What was that going on with Ayo and Anika in Black Panther 2? What was that? Because I know what it's supposed. What's this whole kiss on the forehead thing? What's that? And why wasn't Ayo in the Midnight Angels armor? Why we get that to Okoye? What was that for? I know my brothers and sisters was pissed off. I felt y'all. Because I'm looking like I know better than this here. No, Let's keep it going. Why didn't we get Midnight Angel action figures with both Io and Anika head sculpts? Didn't they give us the White Widow? Didn't they give us the White Widow? Right? Did we? How many folks like this Taskmaster? Nobody. Didn't they give you an unmet Ghost? Yeah, all that. Okay, what's going on? And Ghost ain't black. Ghost ain't black, and Ghost ain't no woman. No, Ghost is a heterosexual male. Okay. You asked the question, does Marvel Studio hate black superhero? I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. You tell me. And Baku is the king of Wakanda. Not Shuri is not the princess regent. Shuri not good enough to run Wakanda? We say Blue Marvel is too powerful. They ain't start that. They didn't gave me. You know what? I got Galactus. I got Hela. I got Thor. I got Loki. You know what? If he too strong, I don't care. Bring him. Then they just gave us the Sentry. They just gave us the Sentry. Good evening. What's going on, Miss May Kent? It took Netflix to make Luke Cage. Listen, and we ain't gonna ever get that again. We ain't gonna ever get that again. Dash Painter and a Blade movie shouldn't be. No, Dash Painter, you are absolutely right. A Blade movie should not announced it in 2019. I'm gonna say this, and all the comic book fans know this. See, if you don't read comics, you're not gonna know what I'm getting ready to say. Every comic book fan knows what I'm getting ready to say is fact. It ain't cap, it's fact. That run that Brian Hill did, Blade with the Adana, that was movie ready. Hell, I thought I was reading the damn movie. The way he had Blade pull up with the halogen lights and everything, except they actually UV ray lights. If you're an MCU fan, if you're an MCU fan, Lord have mercy, Jesus. If you're an MCU fan and you was waiting on Blade, go download, go buy the trade paperback Blade, not the 5-issue one. I think it's 10 or 12. Go get that. Go. You won't be sorry. Go get. If you in your feelings, buy you some Blade. Brian Hill put his foot. Oh Lord Jesus, have mercy. We got us some Blade. We got us some Doctor Strange. Yeah. We got a demon, a woman, demon. Brian Hill did his damn thing. If you want you some Blade and you in your feelings because you ain't fisting to get it from the MCU, take my advice. You about my age, you got your porch and everything like that there and everything. Spring getting ready to come around. You fix you some tea, some lemonade, some Arnold Palmer and everything like that. Got your nice little backyard. Go get the trade paperback. Get your reading glasses. It don't drag. The story don't drag. No, Brian Hill it's better than Blade 3. Yeah, I meant what I said. That story is better than Blade 3. Yeah. Go get that. Go get that. You ain't got to tell me thank you. You welcome. I'm just gonna tell you welcome. Let me get on in here. Let's see here. Blade failed because they want to make it about his daughter. Yeah, that's wrong time. I'll be like, there's a time and place for everything. Introduce the character first. This because this wouldn't have been no Blade, folk. You would have been rebooting the character. But why do we not want to tell the character first and bring it along? It's because we don't really care about the character. That's the thing that we did with Black Panther. We shoehorned every black character from Wakanda in his movies. We want to do the same thing with Blade. Well, who did we shoe in Steve's movie? Who did we shoe in in Thor's movie. We don't know a damn thing about War Machine because even when War Machine was in Iron Man, we were telling Tony's story. We didn't give two damns about Rhodey, which is why Rhodey is an underdeveloped character. Mind you, that's the MCU's fault because you don't know how to tell a story. That's not good storytelling when you don't know how to develop multiple characters. That's piss poor storytelling. Let me keep up. Armor Wars was starting. Don Cheadle was canceled as well. Even the Armor Wars is Tony's story. Thank you. So even I, as a comic book fan who just happens to be African American, I don't want Rhodey telling Tony's story. See how we doing that? Because see, folks don't get that. We could say we don't want Shorty telling T'Challa's story, and folks will call us sexist. They'll call us misogynistic. We don't want Rhodey telling Tony's story either. We would prefer if Rhodey had his own story to tell. If I'm going to tell Armor Wars using my action figures, that's not Rhodey's story. That's Tony's story. Rhodey can come along. He can come along, but it ain't his story. And that's what we get when you don't know, as a fan, you don't know your story. Thus, you're subject to get anything and everything. Now, the question is, why is Marvel Studios doing that? Because they ain't got to. They ain't got to. Thank you so much, Peter, for pulling up, man. Thank you, man. You were hitting it out the park with the comments. No, Ryan Coogler isn't doing Blade right now. Not at all. Not at all. And Baku is an embarrassment. You hitting them out the park tonight, because I'm telling you, I was not laughing when Namor one-shot him across the island and he started doing like this, touching his chest. I was like, That ain't my M'Baku. My M'Baku went out like a G against Morlun. My M'Baku got told, it's a dude out here running fade on the Jabari. What you gonna do? I'm out there. I'm out there, no fear. I'm out there, no fear. Not clutching his pearls, hoping he feel better. I don't think anyone in the MCU working can do. See, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say, Shaka Hopper. I don't know. I want to say yeah, but that would just be me saying yeah. And clearly, I got stuff sitting out here. If we think it's a game, let's talk about it. What's the most recent project they're getting ready to give us? Wonder Man. That's the most recent project they're getting ready to give us. And Pater just asked him, why ain't he Adam Brashear? But you can't, those of us that don't know, and that be the problem, you got a segment of us that don't know, we don't know, and we don't care. I'm looking like they gave you a bologna sandwich. You realize you could have had steak, right? You realize you could have had steak? You either could have had steak, you could have had it well done, extra well, you know what I'm saying? You could have had Heinz 57 sauce. You could have had what is that? A1? Yeah, you ketchup. You could have got steak any way you wanted it. But because you ain't ever heard of steak and you don't trust the folks that look like you that then had both bologna and steak, you don't want to hear us when we say, hey. You know you can get you some steak, right? You absolutely right. Black Panther 2 completely emasculated M'Baku. Now, those of us that know the character know that. There are those that don't know that character and be like, oh, wasn't nothing wrong with M'Baku. M'Baku being one shot across the island and checking his pearls is like Warren Sapp being one shot across the island and checking his pearls. I don't see Warren Sapp checking his pearls. He get one shot. I see Warren Sapp like, oh, you didn't try it. That's what that is. That's Julian Peppers. That ain't the dude that's sitting up there. That ain't M'Baku, ain't even Myles Garrett. Cause he ain't reading a damn thing. He got nothing for you but hands. You absolutely right. They did my dog dirty. As a matter of fact, if I can sit here and say that Shorty's being done dirty, she's supposed to be running Wakanda as the Princess Regent, Black Panther, and that's truth. That's fact. And be accepted. Looked at it like that. Then what are we saying about us as a people when we're supposedly in the fictional universe living in the most technologically advanced nation on earth, and we go to war against water breathers, and the best idea we got is a barge. That's the best idea we got, is a barge floating in the middle of the ocean with men standing on deck with rope tied around their waist. I cannot get us as people, as just critical thinking people, to like, wait, whoa. The most technologically advanced nation on earth. We had men. Let's stay right here. The message that we're supposed to be, because mind you, somebody's brother spoke to this on December 8th, 2020. The message that we're supposed to be instilling in our young men, we know what we're supposed to be doing. Especially when you look at the day and age that we're living in right now, the message that we're supposed to be instilling in our young men. We literally have our men standing on top of a barge with rope tied around their waist while the women descend into the water to fight both men and women that can breathe underwater. That's literally the car at the gas station with the dude sitting on the passenger side. His woman gets out the car, pays for the gas, and pumps the gas. And when a dude come and try and holler, a dude come and try and lay hands on her, assault her, he does nothing. He does nothing. Those are subliminal messages that are being put in front of our face from the MCU. Regardless of who's doing it, it's the studio. So when folks ask the question, does Marvel Studios hate minorities and people of color? Do you know what you're asking? And are you ready for the answer? Because the answer is going to be mind-blowing. The question is, are you going to be like, damn, I never, damn, yeah. MCU hasn't even brought in T'Challa's other brothers, Jakara nor Hunter. You're absolutely right. And we sat up there and we wanted to give Hunter's title away to Bucky. Said no Black Panther fan, period. That is not Bucky's job. That's Hunter. And if we got Hunter, here's what we know. Zemo not walking around in the MCU. Let me keep up with these notes. Let me see. Fans see Marvel Studios and Disney poor treatment to the original black superheroes. Comic Book Cast asked the question. Put that video out there. So I'm thinking folks see it. But hey, Kimoyo says most of the folks defending how you got Riri are black folks who view cinema through a white lens. I grew up in the projects. What you see on screen is some minstrel show. Like I told somebody the other day, you never know who you're talking to. I grew up in the projects of Atlanta and the slums of Bronx, New York. I know what the hood. Now, mind you, that's me. I've never been as intelligent as Riri Williams. And I didn't have to commit crime to get out. I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to do that at all. If anything, Sam Wilson should have been called Captain Falcon, not Captain America. If I may. 58, turning 58 this year. And I'm just gonna throw some clarity out there. So 58, turned 58 this year. Right. So I go back, Sam, green costume, orange highlights, red wing, jumping from rooftop to rooftop, him and Steve. I get Sam, white and red costume, gliders, Wakanda, T'Challa, got that. I'm living with my mother. New York, Bronx, New York. 3318 3rd Avenue, apartment 5A, 10456. You never forget stuff like that. JHS 120. Yeah, that's where I'm going to school at. Mago, whatever you want to call it. They got action figures. Got them. They ain't got but one black one. It's not T'Challa. It's Sam Wilson. I ain't even got no underoos. I'm wearing underoos because they fun to wear, because they something super new in underwear. But I ain't got no Falcon. As a matter of fact, I ain't got no black superhero underoos to wear. Nope. I got Aquaman. I got the Hulk. I got Robin. I got Captain America. I got Spider-Man. I got Superman. They had Wonder Woman for the girls. I'm just saying that just because girls have them too. Flash. I had Barry Allen. They ain't had no Falcon. I was good with Sam being the Falcon. They had the bird, red wing. Sometimes they was talking to each other and everything. I was good. Nobody ever asked me if I wanted Sam Wilson to be Captain America. I don't want him to be Captain America. I don't need. I joined the Marine Corps. I don't need to be called Captain Butler to be a United States Marine Corps veteran. You can call me Theo. Sam don't need to be called the Falcon to represent America. He's American. So with me for mine, I never wanted him to be Captain America. It never made sense. If Dick Grayson, I got to fill in for you sometime. Cool. But Richard Grayson, that's the barometer right there. I'm your partner. At some point in time, I'm finna go over here and start doing my own damn thing that ain't got a damn thing to do with you. Call me when you need me. Right now, Sam Wilson, and I keep saying it. I don't think because I think Sam Wilson right now should be rocking a black and red costume. He should be in Atlanta. Aurora in Atlanta. He should be. Why everybody and their mama in New York? I have no idea. He should be in Atlanta. That's great synergy. Hello. Oh. That's my cat. But that's great synergy. Put his butt in Atlanta. You got the Atlanta Falcons right there. I don't know what we got going on. I promise. You got the Falcons, whose nickname are the Dirty Birds. I would take Sam Wilson if I was working at Marvel Comics and he would go back to being back to being the Falcon. He can keep a shield. But he would go back to being the Falcon and I would drop him right there in Atlanta. Sure would. Start a whole new story. Grand Madam Tara, the lovely Grand Madam Tara was pulled up. Thank you so much. Theo, I remember you pointed out that the actress who played Shorty was paid less than the actor who played Ross. Thank you, Miss Kent. Stay right here. Thank you. When they cast Letitia Wright as Shorty, what did they see in Shorty? When they cast Letitia Wright as Shorty. Because see, this is the thing. You know she's gonna be like, I'm a comic book fan. So I know at some point she's gonna wear this mantle. I know she's gonna wear it. It's as Thanos said, it's inevitable. At some point she's gonna wear it. Why did I cast her? I'm not saying she's not a talented actress or anything like that. I'm talking about introduction, execution, and payoff. I know she's going to pick up the mantle. As a matter of fact, I know what's planned for her from the time I put her in front of the camera. She's going to be the young lady that wants to be Black Panther. That's the first thing. She ain't just a science geek. She want to be Black Panther. Then she going to become Black Panther. And she got a bloodlust. She don't mind putting hands on people that look like Teachey Wright. Does that look like? If I know this is what the character brings to the table, is this what I'm getting from the actor? You're going to be the griot at some point in time. And you're supposed to be tall. You know who could play Shorty? And folks going to say, Theo, stop it. Jade Cargill. That's the physique. You want a woman, if T'Challa is 6 feet, Shorty need to be 5'9", 5'8". That's exactly what that is. So you ask yourself, what plans did they have for Shorty when they cast this character? What were they thinking when they cast Teachey Wright as Shorty? Did they see her as a leading actress, a leading character, or always as a supporting character? Somebody you're going to put in the background. Just ask a question. Just asking questions. This is why I prefer anime over this Hollywood crap. I ain't mad at you, big dog. I ain't mad. You know what? I'm like that. I'm starting to get to the point of like, you know what? Just give me the animation. Just animation, and I know they're not the same thing. But I'm of the minds. I'm like, you know what? We get way better stories when you telling it via animation, because y'all gonna skip some stuff real time. Y'all gonna skip some stuff. Appreciate it, Kimoyo. Yes, please hit the likes. Please hit the like. And before we go any further, I'm gonna say it again. Thank y'all. Y'all made this possible. I'm telling you, there's not a day to go by I won't forever be thankful. I won't. That when you see people come together like that, there's hope. There's hope. It just needs to be more of us speaking life into each other and coming together like that. Like, yeah, there's no such thing as we can't. This is what Tuesday night showed me. Tuesday night showed me that if we really did come together as a country, we would be living in a utopia. There would be no need. As Dr. Eve Ewing wrote in her Black Panther run, there would be no need. You wouldn't need anything. You might want some stuff, but you would need for nothing. That's actually something that humans have. We have that in us, but what we've allowed somebody to do is preach fear instead of hope, encourage hate, vice love. Those of us that know better, we got to be adamant about doing better. Let me get back to these notes. Shaka Hopper say, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. They complain because they just tossing it out like a thrower. Yeah. Don't even get me started on Killmonger, a symbol of black strength and rebellion. They deleted him in the movie and canceled his comic series with the quickness. Let me speak to Eric Killmonger. And I'm not knocking anybody that likes him. I'm not. Eric Killmonger's story is incorrect. I know what they want. They want him to be T'Challa's adversary. But based on his backstory, It makes no sense for him to be T'Challa's adversary. It doesn't. Now, let me look at the MCU. In the MCU, he knows world history. Okay, cool. Quite a few criminals know world history. As a matter of fact, some folks would tell you criminals are some of the most intelligent people out there. So he knows world history. He killed his woman. Folks, when folks talk about how his qualities he killed his woman. His ride or die, the one that helped him rob the museum, he deleted her. Now, mind you, I'm of the mindset he didn't have to, because he kept bragging about how good he was in the military. Okay, well, you ain't have to shoot her in the heart. We didn't watch too many movies, too many TV shows where the woman or the man gets shot in the shoulder and fall to the side like this, and the person standing behind him gets shot. We've seen that way too many times. That's not what we did here. He deleted his woman. He was finna delete Shorty. That's his first cousin. I'm sitting up here like, wait, pause, time. So we don't have no respect for women. To hell with it. He even bragged about deleting other brothers and sisters that had nothing to do with what he went through. There are no redeeming qualities in that character. Now, the lines that were written for him, I get it. Them lines nice. But now let's take this and shift to Eric over in the comics. In the comics, Eric's parents are deleted in an explosion in the vibranium mines caused by Claw attempting to steal vibranium. Njobu, who works for Claw, criminal, it's not Eric's dad. Njobu takes Eric, gives him to Claw. Eric gets trained to be a criminal by Ulysses Claw. Who's responsible for Eric's parents being gone? Indirectly, Ulysses Claw. Eric gets to be an adult. He's an assassin. Two folks are sent after him, a woman and a man, a black woman and a European male. They're sent by the kingpin. Feeling betrayed, Eric deletes the woman that was, mind you, the woman that was black, Eric was smashing her. So he don't mind deleting women he be smashing. He deletes her. He deletes the European dude. But Eric, in comic book continuity, has never went after Claw nor the Kingpin. Make that make sense. But he mad at T'Challa. No, you're not. No, you're not. Even when I think Brian Hill tried to rewrite that, he tried to make it make sense. You know what makes sense? T'Challa has always tried to be this dude's friend. That's what makes sense. Eric being mad at T'Challa has never made sense from a literary standpoint. Eric being seen as a hero, anti-hero, never made sense in the live action standpoint. In my universe, Eric and T'Challa ain't got no issues. Eric and Claw got issues. Eric and Kingpin got issues. But Eric and T'Challa, that don't make no sense. And I don't believe in repeating stuff that don't make sense. I don't. Let's see. Killmonger was not a good guy. No, not at all. They canceled the Blade movie just to force him into it. Yeah, they did. I know. Yeah, Blade and the Adana. Yeah, I'm still mad at the way Namor punched in Baku. Yeah. Didn't even look, did he? Side note, Blade Red Band was pretty good. Yeah. Damn sure was. Goofies are just happy to see black. You know what? Hold on. Miss May Ken says, I learned since being in the movement for T'Challa is to read comments and follow people with knowledge on the character. On the character. Movie won't give you the truth. Not at all. Not at all. And I don't even thank you so much for that, Miss May Kent, because I do that as a Harry Potter person. Like, my introduction to Harry Potter is the movies. Well, I know the movie's based on the book, so I'm gonna go back to the book. Thank you so much, Miss Kent, when you say that, because I don't understand how those of us that are comic book fans have respect for other literature, but we don't get that same respect. I'm not gonna look at a James Bond movie and think the James Bond movie is the end all say all. Where the book at? That's no differently than Welcome to Derry. You can watch Pennywise on the big screen and the small screen all day long. You can. But you know it came from the book. If you don't go back to the book, a Stephen King movie fan can never and would never think to have a serious conversation about any of Stephen King's creations, and they ain't read the book. They know better. Why we act different over here? I guess that's because we think comic book fans are immature, don't know no better. No, comic book fans are well read. Now, I'm going to say this, and it's going to probably hurt some feelings. This going to probably hurt some feelings. Comic books have always been for adults, by and large. So your comic book fan that's my age has always been reading, by and large, on an adult level. Everybody can't say that. Not even those that graduated from high school. Your reading comprehension ain't up there like that. You know how I struggle with numbers and everything like that? So you're fine with what the movies got. And because you know you lack reading comprehension skills, you will argue till you turn blue in the face that the movies are superior to the comics when you know better. When you know better. When you know better. Was that not the most ridiculous thing? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. LOL. This is from Entertainment Culture 2929. I can't wait to see what Sony and Marvel does with the Miles Morales live action. You think it's coming out? Woo! You'll get another Miles Morales video game. You'll get another Miles Morales animated feature, but live action? Oh no, you're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get that entertainment. I'm willing to bet, because we do friendly bets around here and everything like that. I'm willing to bet a 2-liter bottle of your favorite soda on it. Yeah. I'm willing to bet that. That movie Troll Black Men, boy, look here, have mercy. What you say? Shaka Hopper say he's so glad he got a huge comic book store in there. Hey, listen, I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that at all. Miles won't get a live action anytime soon. He black. One, he black. Two, can't. Look, they could have gave us a Miles Morales Spider-Man movie a long damn time ago. I know we didn't at least had 2 different actors that could play it. The young man from Stranger Things, and the young man from the movie Dope back in the day. He had a little flat top and everything. I think he voiced Miles Morales in the animation. That's crazy. So yeah, we could have had that. Let's see here. Letitia is a talented British actress, meaning a cheap hire. Oh. You just threw that in there. Kimoyo says Shorty was comedy relief. I should have got from her what I got from Old Girl and Eddie Murphy's Coming to America. That's what I should have got. If you saw Coming to America's, I say this, and I'll be saying this. The best representation of Shorty was in Coming to America that came over there on Amazon. And the best representation I didn't got of T'Challa was in Message from the King. Let me see now. Tell him, said, what bothers me the most is Sam always had an issue with being in Steve's shadow. Why would he ever want to then be Captain America? I don't, you know what? I don't see this. I don't know. I ain't never been 6 feet nothing. I don't know what you could tell me. Like if I'm Sam Wilson, let's see if I got this right. I got a Falcon harness. I'm living in DC. I'm single. I'm living in on-base housing. And I'm a counselor. DC. You mean I'm in Chocolate City. I'm a veteran. I'm a black veteran in Chocolate City, staying by myself. And I need Steve help for what? See, you got to make these characters relatable. Make it where I want to watch this dude. Wait. Because it's some stuff we just know as black men. Whoa. He a black veteran? Yeah. Oh. He got a high-paying job. Like, he not broke at all. He ain't hard. Where he stay at is cheap. Where he work at is overpaying him. And he either a member of USAA or Navy Federal. No, he not. Sam got to tell women no. Sam can't even go to McDonald's without the women hollering at him. He can't. He can't go nowhere. He can't. He can't. And Sam got a nice ride and he ain't paid that much for it. Sam ain't driving that Ford piece. No. Sam got him a nice one. No. See how we know that? And that's what would have had us lock in with Sam. We wouldn't even check it for Steve. We'd have been looking at hell. Yeah, that's me right there, big dog. Sam should have. You got Sam in some Under Armour. No, you should have had Sam in a Nike t-shirt, some Nike shorts, and some Nike Zooms. Should have had Sam like, Steve Rogers, what's up, dog? Captain America, what's good with you? Yeah, man, I seen you running around and everything like that, though. Yeah. Not Scarlet Witch. Natasha pull up. Sam pull like, damn. That's you? If Steve say no, oh, let me go get that. Sam ain't do nothing. He ain't give me no quality to make me say to myself, yeah, that's me right there. Killmonger, I gave under my real name to your family. Thank you so much. Miss Kent. Let me see here. Killmonger is just a yeah. You know what Eric Killmonger was? Eric Killmonger in that movie was a representation of how some African Americans feel about Africans. That's the best way I'm gonna say it. Eric Killmonger represents how some African Americans feel about Africans because he literally told that whole damn story. Now, mind you, I don't agree with it because you're not going to get the Italian American to talk that way, feel that way about Italians. You're not going to get the Norwegian American to talk that way and feel that way about Norwegians. Hell, we got somebody right now that was actually born in America, and he would never feel that way about German Americans. I'm going to say about Germans. No, he actually feel like what the Germans had going on was absolutely right. So, I think Eric's portrayal in the movie is part of a far larger problem plaguing my community. Let's see here. Ronnie says, that scene where Killmonger killed this woman really pissed me off. It was not called for. Not when you didn't seen too many scenes where the dude shot through his shoulder. Like, if you want to make him redeeming to me, show me that. When he just shoot through the shoulder. Baby, I told you I had you. As a matter of fact, missed moment. Stay right here. Missed moment. Stay right here. Missed moment. She should have been the OG Malice. Missed moment. She should have been the OG Malice. But if you don't care about the source material, you don't know when you can inject the source material. Eric's girlfriend in Black Panther, that should have been Malice. Let me see here. Ronnie says, I think the reason why people that don't respect comic books is because we've always been taught by teachers that comic books are not true literature like other books. Yeah, till you see how much money they're making off of them. I had a teacher tell me that from FSU and everything like that. That's crazy. Because movies based off of comic books, one of them they made 1.3 billion. And I don't know what movie I can say based on a book that made more than 1.3 billion. So I think what that is that's ignorance, because you see something one way. Like I said, you can say that, but there are a lot of people that learn how to read comic books also know how to read novels. Nobody that reads comic books is reading on a childlike level. Nobody, because they're not written on children level. Even to this day, comic books aren't written on children level. You better know what you're doing. So, Ronnie, that may be true, but I caught my daughter, who is a teacher, sneaking my Black Panther comic books to school to give her kids as rewards for passing tests. No, that's absolutely right. She doing the right thing. One, it's a character that they can relate to, or they are relating to. Two, there's some reading, some words, some paragraphs being written in there and everything like that. Three, it's about them. It's a character they can relate to. So I ain't mad at that at all. Shout out to your own daughter, Grandmadam. Shout out to her. I would have been swooping down on the lady. Yeah, bro. But the question remains, why didn't you come get us? I like that question. I do. I like that question. But now if I'm sitting back and I'm looking, could they? If we're looking at Africa today, the many nations in Africa, they have the resources that we got over here. What's easier? Is it easier for them to come get us or for us to leave? What's easy? I think the conditioning on both sides of the ocean, is problematic. I got to be ready to go over there and empty my mind and receive what they have to offer. And they have to be ready to receive me. I have to be ready to be received, and they have to be ready to receive me. And we have to fight through all the mental conditioning on a subliminal level to make it there. Like, regardless of how much you may want to go to Africa, you to a degree have been conditioned that there's something wrong with that. And regardless of how much they want you to come, to a degree, it might be 1%. They've been conditioned, there's something wrong with that. So you have to consciously fight against that. Someone once said, and I go back to my rural roots, Camilla, Georgia, and everything like that, I don't meet strangers. You be driving by in the car, I can be sitting on the porch and waving, everything like that. That's the mindset, that's the attitude, that's the humbleness that you would have to have. Just be open. If I'm going off of personal experience, what I can say is this. I've had the pleasure of interacting with some brothers and sisters across the water. I have. And I can say that out of the many that I've interacted with, only one was sipping the Kool-Aid. Only one. Only one was sipping the Kool-Aid. Only one was sipping the Kool-Aid. Everybody else like, no, we in this thing together. But only one was sipping the Kool-Aid. Only one. Feel about Africans and straight black men who don't know how to wait, let me see. How do I feel about Africans and straight black men who don't bow to white feminism, in my opinion? I'm not sure I understand the question. Let me see. Some black folks practice stay in your placism. Wakanda became isolated because they had to contend with enemies all around them, plus the colonizer. Yeah, I know of had a Wakanda. I ain't saving everyone. Some of us are just yeah. Let me see here. Make sure I keep up with these notes. I appreciate y'all pulling up. I really did just want to talk about this because, like I said, I don't think I think you got to ask. You got to be willing to ask the question, and you got to be willing to sit down and talk to somebody, and somebody got to be willing to talk to you and not have the emotions tied up in it, invested in everything like that. Does Marvel Studios hate people of color? That's up to you to answer. What I'm going to say to you is, based on what I've been watching, they ain't done right by brothers and sisters. They ain't done right. And I'm saying brothers and sisters, if you somebody that got some melanin in you, yeah, they ain't do right by Moore. They ain't do right by Echo. No, they ain't done right by Wanda Maximoff. Say, Theo, she Romanian. She Romanian. She Romanian. She not being represented like that. No. They ain't getting Dr. Doom right either. He Romanian as well. Yeah, I'm telling all of it now. There's quite a few people ain't getting done right. No. So you got to ask yourself that question. The thing is when I look at people like Comic Book Cast, if you Comic Book Cast or anybody in that profession, you've been knowing this. Like that's the other thing. Am I really thinking I'm smarter than you? You Comic Book Cast. Comic Book Cast, comic book that, comic this, that, and the third. Am I really smarter than you? No, you've been knowing this. You've been seeing it. Did you care? Now that's the question. You've been seeing it. Did you care? Did you know? Because you got comic book in your name. Quite a few of y'all got. I ain't saying. I'm just saying. I ain't got nothing comic book in my name, but it's a lot of knowledge in there. But y'all literally have comic book in your name. Comic book, superhero, y'all literally have it right there in your name. You never saw it? You never noticed it. Or was it that you never cared? That's not a luxury that me and mine have as African Americans. No, by and large, we be taught from the time we come out the womb to accept everything everybody got going on. We're expected to know as well, not just see it, but to be able to speak on it, to be able to articulate it, draw it, whatever. Okay, well, can you say this? Can you do the same thing for me? In mine? That's a fair question. It's safe to say Marvel Studios has either ignorantly so or stupidly so misrepresented mine on both the small screen and the big screen. I won't even get into X-Men 97 with that nonsense they had going on, including Marvel Wiki. But it's a fair question. Fortunately, when it comes to me and mine, we've already arrived at a conclusion. No T'Challa, no dollar. And that no T'Challa, no dollar stems from this. we knew if you weren't going to do right by the #1 black superhero in Marvel, you weren't going to give two damns about the rest of them. I ain't saying them to say, listen, hit them like buttons and everything like that. Thank y'all so much for pulling up. I appreciate this. They hate doing correct representation. That's for sure. Yeah, they do. Listen, thank y'all so much. And once again, to the Rock With Me Nation, we are full speed ahead. Y'all showed me how much confidence y'all had in me the other night. I'm not going to let it go to waste. I'm committed to the Rock With Me Nation. I'm committed to the memory. I'm committed to our people. That said, in memory of the late, great Don Cornelius and Chadwick Boseman, in the meantime, in between time, till next time, I wish each and every last one of y'all love, peace, and so we out.